And here we are. This is the game we've all been waiting for. This is the final of the Ontario Esports League, League of Legends game. Here we have two teams fighting for a big cash prize here at Raiders Esports Center. Just waiting for the spectator delay to go forward, but we've already seen some excellent Maokai play, some godlike blitz hooks, and followed up by Vi punishing lanes, very, very advantageous, making sure to get leads and taking kills herself, giving kills to others. Really, she's just the all-around good guy jungle. So don't quite see what the other team has right now. We're gonna go ahead and call that as we see it. League's been a little buggy the last couple of patches, where if you're spectating games, sometimes you don't see the other side. So we're gonna have to go ahead and wait for this and see if this is happening. But very, very successful tournament we had here, and just some really great games. I have to thank my co-caster, Mr. Gold, for helping me with the early day cast. We had some great moments, so definitely if you're watching this finals video, go back and check some of the other casts out. They were really, really strong, and Mr. Gold and RavExel, two Frenchmen, one cast. Here we go. So excited for this. These teams have been playing. There has been a little bit of a tournament meta set up. There's been a priority on Jin, Caitlyn, Callista in the 80 carry role. In top lane, Maokai's just been dominating. All kinds of different jungler picks. We've saw a Mumu. We've seen Lee Sin. We've seen just all kinds of different junglers, and then as well mid lane. I haven't seen a mid lane Corki yet, but lots of mid lane Talia, and then of course the ever solid pick of mid lane Orianna. So hopefully this game is not bugged out. We're gonna have to see. Probably about another minute and a half, and just very, very exciting here at the Raiders Esports Center. If you've never been down here, the mecca of esports in all of Toronto, just here on St. Clair, close to Yonge Street. I mean, you can walk right from the subway. It's so convenient, and just a really, really cool bar, restaurant, internet cafe. They even have virtual reality here. Yeah, that's right. And you should see their gaming pit. Wow, where you walk down the stairs and you have 10 computers set up for tournament play, massive projector on the screen, and it really is quite the sight to be seen. So, hey, if you're a gamer and you want to meet like-minded people, hell, lots of us game. The average age of gamers keeps increasing. Last I heard it was 28, 29 years old, the average. So everyone's getting in it, men, women, girls, boys. Everyone's interested in the gaming these days. Just depends what type of game you like. Personally, my girlfriend, she likes cell phone games. I don't really consider those very much type of games, but hey, she likes very simple, some easy strategy, some puzzle games, and then she loves playing that. So, good on her. Me, I'm kind of more of the strategy type of a player, Europa Universalis 4, Hearts of Iron 4, League of Legends, StarCraft, all types of different games that really appeal to all types of genres. So just going to wait another minute here for this delay. It might be a bit frozen. So I'm actually going to go ahead and make sure that we don't miss any of the action here. League has been buggy, and we're going to go ahead and load up the cast here. Just going to enter the spectate. Maybe I might have missed 30 seconds or a minute. This is me, RavExel. Finished plat last season, currently gold. Wow, gold is sure hard. Can't get those wins, but hey, I'm just crying here. Here we have many different diamonds, many platinum players, and we're gonna go ahead and find out who's in this game. Okay, we've got Vic. Vic lost. I'm Tofu with 2 U's. Okay, so hey, we're just rolling with the punches here. Fuck. Well, it's unfortunate. We had a little bit, and we have Shadman here in Champ Select. Excuse my language there. Just want to make sure that we catch this game. This is the final. This is by far the most important game, and it's just an honor to cast 2 finals here for the Ontario Esports League and here at Raiders. All right, we have Pog in game. That's not him. It's Shadman. Shadman has did 2 really good carry games. He was Aurelian Soul on 1 game and just got 13 kills incredibly fast. And then went ahead and went down to the bot lane with Callista and was just, she didn't completely carry the game. That was their mid Zed, but did a really good job. Went ahead and beat up on the Ezreal Janna lane. I mean, that's why you don't pick an Ezreal Janna lane. You're really just getting poked, trying to dodge. You're not really being able to do a whole lot. Like, yeah, you're hard to kill, but you don't do a lot of damage. And he was absolutely able to exploit that with some excellent Callista play. Gonna find out what's going on here. Shadman's inviting me. Okay, so I think it was a little bit bugged last time. It's really unfortunate. What's going on, Riot? All right, at least I can see myself in the spectator mode. Now I have a feeling it's gonna work. A little bit frustrated, but here you can see the ranks of the players. So on one team, 4 diamonds and a plat, and the other team, gold won the lowest all the way up to diamond. So some really high-level teams and just awesome. I get to see the draft, and I get to see a little bit behind what these guys, bring to the table. So, very unusual bans here. I think possibly they already had this game started up previously. Because I haven't seen any of these picks at all in the tournament. I think they're just replaying a draft. I think because the last game bugged out, that they're just going to go ahead and pick the same picks that they settled on last time. And here we have the first pick, Cho'Gath. And we're going to see who gets followed by. So that, normally you would think, watching LCS, watching Korea, watching China, that the Cho'Gath would be jungle, but no, in this tournament, he's been top lane. And we're going to have to see who he's going to be facing. Probably the Jarvan. We haven't really seen Jarvan jungle. It hasn't come back in the meta. No, it's been Jarvan top lane who has been going ahead and building 2 to 3 damage items before finally tanking up. And if you can get a lead with J4, oh, you got to watch out. Really excited to see the Callista. It's been played very beautifully. And it's teaming up with the Rakan. This has been happened earlier on in the day. It's been a very hard to kill bot lane, but can do CC as well as lots of damage. And that's like Callista using ultimate to throw Rakan in, and then Rakan following up the CC with CC of his own. And you got a Jarvan like this. This is a dive comp extraordinaire. And if Callista can stay on the back end, oh boy, she's going to be doing all kinds of damage. But we do have this Cho'Gath top lane, and it's going to be Shyvana jungle. So we haven't seen Shyvana yet in this tournament. So excited to see her. She's trying to get a farm lead, a level lead. She can do early dragons. She can get Rift Herald right at 10 minutes. So it'll be interesting to see if she's going to be going for early objectives, a high farm total with levels, or whether she's going to be ganking. Personally, I like as a Shyvana player, I like getting a little bit of a farm lead, a little bit of a level lead. You try to get about a half to 1 level up on your opponent, and then start going for objectives. But we're going to have to see. She could be going top lane with Cho'Gath, as Cho'Gath likes to eat epic monsters. Cho'Gath might be hungry for an epic Rift Herald to go ahead and feast up on and get big. But we have Tristana, Braum on the bot lane. Braum's a good pick into Rakan and Callista. Rakan and Braum both not known for dominating lane performances, but have great mid and late games, and just being able to help their team mitigating damage or starting fights. They have so many tools. So great meta picks. A little bit of unusual Jax. Probably going to be Jax in the jungle. You see him in the top lane normally when you're watching high level action. So it is a little bit of a confusing draft from the team on the right. Again, both Jarvan and Jax can go in the jungle, but you mostly see them in top lane. So be very curious. We haven't seen this team play either of these champions in this tournament. So be very curious to see who goes where. And Ari picking the Ignite, so she's wanting kills onto Talia, and definitely a minor counter to Talia. As Ari, you can still roam, just not as well as Talia, but you have more kill pressure against the Talia lane. So she's looking for kills, Talia's looking to roam, and wow, I'm just really, really excited. How excited am I? Well, I just want to go, woo. No, wait, that wasn't how I felt. Kind of like, woo! No, more like, woo! Oh, that's more like it. Look, we're looking for this final action. I can't wait. My hands are literally sweating, and I'm figuratively taking my shirt off. So, I'm not really taking my shirt off, but I am in excitement, because I can't wait to see how this final goes. I am standing here, headset on, right, casting these two high-skilled teams. This is what I love to do. This is what brought me to the league. This chess match that we have. This 140 characters, all with different abilities, all with different high spikes in the game, and this is just chess times 50 to me about what's going to happen and who's going to go where. Cho'Gath not necessarily looking to win the lane. He's mostly looking to play pretty passive. He wants to farm up. He wants to get levels. He wants to get to that first epic monster. He wants to get that champion kill. So with Shyvana, you only get any CC when you hit level 6. And at that, it's very difficult CC to land effectively. These are high-level teams. And can get danky. I'm sure he's very good with Shyvana. I've played hundreds of games on Shyvana, and I still sometimes miss that ultimate knockback. So naturally, when you have a high damage, no CC jungler, you want to gank a lane with CC. So that means bot lane with Braum. That means Ahri in mid lane. But you mostly probably want to leave. I mean, the Cho'Gath has the knock-up as well. So great team comp drafting over here from the blue team. I really like what they're doing, and I really think that they should have the kind of overall advantage, and that's assuming that Shyvana doesn't get behind. If Shyvana gets behind, then this team is in for a lot of trouble. We're gonna have to see. We're also gonna have to see how Kalista is going into these team fights, as well as whether she's going to be prioritizing these epic monsters. So Rift Herald and Dragons, because when you get enough stacks in, enough of her arrows. Wow, she does way more damage than a smite, and it's not a 50-50 at that point. I've seen Kalista do 1,500 damage before, and you just know you're never, ever able to get a smite at 1,500. The most it goes is to 1,000. So, I am so excited. Can't wait to cast this for all you. Raiders Esports Center, such gracious hosts. Good food, good drinks. They got specials. They got things going on all the time. I swear 4 or 5 nights a week there's something going on here. And really you got to get yourself down. They got DJs. They've got TVs set up all over the place playing gaming action. And just a real pleasure to be part of this great venue. Good luck, have fun. I believe that was the Braum saying that. A little bit of good sportsmanship. That's what I like to see. And it's Jarvan Jungle. Wow, I haven't seen this I did see it in Season 6, so it hasn't been that long. It's only been a season, but very interesting to see this Jarvan Jungle. That has got to be probably the first champion that I truly made, and that I played a lot of games with, and that was in Season 2, Season 3, even a little bit into Season 4. And he's always been a favorite of mine. The level 2 gank is extremely strong. When you're able to walk into lane, get an auto attack, and the flag and drag, followed up by some more autos, wow. All kinds of damage, all kinds of CC, and whoever expects a 3 minute 30-second level 2 gank from Jarvan. I tell you, not many people. And let's see if Ju Jingi is that type of crazy. I don't know, it's a little bit risky, because if you miss the gank on bottom, your team instantly falls behind. So I can't wait to see this jungle route. It's going to be pretty standard. We're going to have Shyvana, who's going to be starting the blue buff. A little bit unusual. Normally, you'd think a Shyvana would do the, you'd get the all the early chickens here, starting your W, and then coming down to get the red buff with the help of your bot lane. But they're not doing traditional jungle starts. Jarvan, you do want to start blue buff because you use a lot of mana early on, especially when you hit level 2 and especially level 3. So very, very good leashes. We saw some really unusual leashes from some of these other teams, but here's the reason why these other teams are not here. We saw some unusual leashes, and the teams are not here to represent themselves. So as you can see, you want to use your auto reset when you play Shyvana. So it's auto Q auto, auto Q auto, and you're able to put out a lot of big damage. She's probably going to go down to the wolves, but she could possibly go over to get the scuttle crab once it pops up. Very aggressive from the blue team, going ahead and trying to get some early damage, and they're successful. Rakan has a little bit of health on the life bar, but nothing that he can't handle. He is the lover, and him and Callista would sure love to start a little action together, you know, a little bit of common ground, shall we say. Kind of an early back for Shyvana. Normally you can come over and take this red buff if you're worried about being counter jungled. As you can see, Jarvan with the double red buff. So Shyvana prioritizing clearing the entire side of the jungle here, whereas Jarvan was more concerned about getting these early buffs. So hit the level 3, has double buffs, is hitting that very special 3-minute 30-second part. He is only at half life right now, but could go in for a gank. He should see that top lane's pushing in. So if he's going to go anywhere early, it should be this top lane. Good early damage by Cho'Gath, but you can't be harassing like that early because he's got mana issues. And especially going the Doran shield and not the corrupting potion, the mana issues are only exacerbated. But that's why also a gank on top lane could be useful, as Cho'Gath probably only has enough mana for 1 Q. And yeah, at 84 mana, the first level Q has been dropped in mana cost. It used to be 100, is now 80. We are playing on the patch 7.14, July 22nd, 2017. My name, RavExel, here for the Ontario Esports League here at Raiders. Okay, pretty even action. These are the best of the best. These are the cream of the crop teams, the cream of the crop that has risen to play in this final game for you all. No early leads. We've seen some stomps in this tournament, but this is not happening here. Very, very close game and no early advantages. A little bit curious, we do see Jarvan with a little bit of a CS lead. So that's good job by Jarvan. Good jungle pathing. He only backed after getting the 4 camps. And Shyvana normally should be able to outshine him in the farming game, but he does do quite a bit better at ganking and at team fights than Shyvana. Shyvana's kind of a lonely jungler, a solo jungler. That's why my friends never liked me playing her, because I would just ignore their lanes and go farm and get objectives and then fight for the mid game and late game. Never really liked that, but hey, they're not here right now, and I'm not playing. It's King Danky playing, and she's got red buff. A little bit dangerous for Jarvan to keep on this scuttle. I mean, not scuttle, Krugs. He doesn't know that there's vision being washed, but he should have a smite to be able to secure this. And when you saw Shyvana around, you want to be smiting. Very close there. When you're the jungler, you don't want to be showing yourself into across mid lane, because then the other team's going to know where he is. So yes, you're going to pick up this wave of farm, which is so very important, especially for Shyvana, but you also don't want to give away your jungle position. And with that wave of mid lane, we have Shyvana getting that early CS lead. You also want to be very careful about smiting first, because you never know who's in a bush. You never know where that Jarvan is. You did see him in bot lane, but you didn't see him back. So it is a fire dragon as the first dragon of the game. This should be hotly contested, especially by Shyvana. After this camp here, she's going to go down and get this one, and I assume she's going to go back and buy. And with that buy, she should be able to solo dragon. So let's see what she does. We're going to go ahead and focus on a lane, but we are keeping an eye on her. At 31 farm, she's going to up that to 34 when she kills all those camps. There she is. Not backing. Okay, so going ahead and going to farm until she hits level 6. I guess not wanting to take that Infernal Dragon until she has her ultimate available. You can either jump over the wall right over here with your dragon form, or what's even better is you use the blast cone to get over, and if you get any trouble, you can ultimate out of it. By all means, she's strong enough to get that dragon without ultimate. And there, red team, suspecting there might be some early dragon hijinks, goes ahead and puts the ward, and blue team should see that. Oh, in the first kill, we had Jax pushing all the way down here to the end, right underneath tower, ends up picking up the kill on Cho'Gath. This is exactly what the Jack needs to go ahead and get ahead. He wants to be the split pusher. We have Cho'Gath, who wants to be the team fighter, wants to be able to secure objectives for his team, wants to be the big, massive tank that also does damage and provides CC. Really, he does a little bit of everything. So what we have a 20 CS lead here on Jax. He's going to be going ahead, and oh, what a buy. He's picking up the Bilgewater as a first buy. He's going to be trying to cast that spell onto the ability onto Cho'Gath and to one-on-one him. And really, if you the biggest play, the biggest, highest skill play is if you counter-strike the bite. Wow, that will be so cheesy if you can go ahead and do that, but very high skill. Shadmax had a great Aurelion Soul carry game. Just going ahead and soloing that Talia. Again, Ahri is a counter, a mild counter to Talia, and that's exactly why Ahri chose Ignite, went ahead and used that. Still has Flash. And with that kill, the Shyvana can go ahead and steal red buff. Look, so I said before, we're going to see what kind of Shyvana this is. This is the type of Shyvana. It's a farm lead, it's a level lead, it's a buff stealing Shyvana. So doing a great job. See if she's going to help push Ahri. See, this is what I don't like again. You don't want to be coming bottom lane. You don't want to be showing in the minions in middle lane because the enemy team is going to be knowing you're coming down for this dragon. It's very safe to go for the scuttle because red team does know that blue team is up and around here. Braum trying to be a little bit fancy with the blast comb into the Winter's Bite. And meanwhile, we have Jax split pushing top lane. Now, Jax does not have TP. So this is not a fight that Red wants to have with Jax not being in there. They do have Jarvan in there, and this is going to be a significant early advantage for blue team. Let's see if Rakan, oh, beautiful ultimate there by Kalista, using it in the defensive way. I'm Tofu, hearing Rakan's calls, come over here, ult me, save me. And she listened, and Rakan is able to save himself from dying. But we got the kills at 2-2. We have the Infernal Dragon going over to the blue team. That was Jarvan going down and securing that. But in doing so, look at the CS difference in Jax versus Cho'Gath. They literally a double CS difference. And at this point, at 9 minutes 30 seconds, it is absolutely massive, that type of CS lead. And he's going to be going ahead and building the Blade of the Ruin King. You can either go two different builds. It's either Blade of the Ruin King or Triforce, Trinity Force. Is generally the most common starts. I've also seen Hydra. I believe a high-level game that myself and Mr. Gold casted earlier in the week. Saw a Jax dominate lane and go Titanic Hydra, but I much prefer this start. And here we have the Trump off to a big lead, and it's very, very important top side of the map that he's winning so far. So we have blue team who's got the advantage in mid lane, and red team they have the advantage in top lane. So we're going to have to see how this game progresses. This is by far our closest early game of the tournament, and I couldn't have come of a better time. Oh, what a pleasure to cast. This game, I am on pins and needles, that's figuratively, and wow. We're going to have to see where there's two on top. We have Talia not being seen, but she doesn't know that. Doesn't have a pink ward, and is just going to go and head back into mid lane. Great farm total for Shyvana. Check out that, 68 farm at 11 minutes. That is really good, folks. And if you don't believe it, you try doing this in a ranked game at home. You see how far that you go up ahead with Shyvana, being able to get more than your top laner. I bet you won't. But if you are able to, you're going to look like King Danky here, which is very attractive in this CS lead. I do expect her to at some time in the next few minutes before the next dragon prioritize this Rift Herald. Dragon being down for another 3 minutes, 30 seconds. You really like to think that she'd be trying to get Cho'Gath that stack and try to at least get an early objective. So great warding by red team. Going ahead and going to be picking up this this bot tower, and this is first bot tower of the game. This is what happens when you have a Tristana and a Shyvana pushing out a bot tower. Really, it doesn't last for too long. Which some players don't know is Shyvana, you're also able to queue the tower, so you can auto attack cancel the tower. And with Shyvana, with the Tristana's ability to hit the towers for all kinds of damage, they really just don't stand a chance. So what I'd like to see from Shyvana is to definitely prioritize the top side of the map going forward. You already got the bot turret. The dragon's still down for 3 minutes. There's no reason for you to be in bot lane, unless you can secure a double kill for sure. But it doesn't look like that's for sure. Very unusually, we have the Jarvan going Cinderhulk. Yes, Cinderhulk got buffed in 7.13 by the Balmy Cinder, but almost every Jarvan you see wants to go early damage, early lethality. Personally, I love the tank Jarvan, but I'm also not a high-level solo queue player, so it's going to be interesting to see what he builds for his next item. Building the cloth armor, he could be either going for ninja tabbies to prioritize movement and armor and damage reduction, or it could be going for a second tank item, which is what his team needs. You do have a Jack top. Jax is winning. Look at that early Blade of the Ruin King at 13 minutes. And here, just as predicted, we have Shyvana going ahead and getting this Rift Herald, but we don't have that Cho'Gath around. Where's that Cho'Gath? Cho'Gath is nowhere to be found. She's bot lane, and Shyvana's going to go ahead and pick up that Rift Herald, get those fast backs, and very high skill game here. We have blue team going ahead with the lane swap. That's right, folks. This is a 5-on-5 high-level team game. This is not solo queue. These players are talking with each other, and there is macro game. Not only the micro, but there's absolutely macro. So going ahead and switching your powerful two bottom lane into top lane after you get the turret, and without Dragon being there for at least 2 minutes 30 seconds is exactly what you want to do. And if they get a gank in top lane, possibly a mid lane roam, they could go ahead and push this advantage even further. Be very curious to see if there's any pressure that goes on bottom. But we have the Dragon up in 45 seconds. And we're going to have to see, now that Cho'Gath is bottom, you know she's hungry for that stack at 0-2-0, trying to farm up. The CS lead is ever growing. Look at that 45 CS lead there by Jax. Very impressive. And you're not going to want to see that guy in a solo lane. 2-level lead. And after pushing in this wave, might decide to go over towards his team, or might decide to push one more wave to keep Cho'Gath at his tower, and then to be able to rotate up towards the dragon. So they have vision. There's the red ward right here. They should put a little vision right there if they can, and it's a wind dragon. So not exactly the highest priority, but you can still take it away from Shyvana, and most importantly, take it away from the Cho'Gath. Shyvana hanging around the bottom side. It was seen through this tri-bush. They know exactly where she is. They don't know that this is warded here. Jarvan using him and the dragon. Oh, dragon out! That's Shyvana doing just what I was saying earlier, getting a little bit of trouble getting that first objective and flying right over the back of that wall to make sure that she doesn't die and give this precious objective over, as well as as an early kill. Look at that farm total, 105 compared to the Jarvan 76. Jarvan going ahead and smiting that scuttle. I guess using that to know that Shyvana's not going to try to take a dragon if the opposing scuttle is going to be there. So even though his smite was down for about 25-30 seconds, still finding that scuttle very worth it and preventing that next objective for going blue's way. And here we have the Rift Herald used. Down in mid lane, we have 2 members. And again, this Shyvana pushing towers with this red buff. Red buff Shyvana with a Rift Herald. Really, you should see her also going down towards Dragon as red team tries to clear this Rift Herald. So, yeah, it bought about 5 seconds. Vision being seen. She probably does. She just got Dragon Rage up. Going ahead, she's in full vision here, but it doesn't really matter. She's got 3 team members around her, and oh, not quite. There's the Jax coming in. She's going to want to go ahead and smite it, and flashes right out. That's 2 early objectives for Dragon, as well as the Rift Herald. So that's 3 objectives for Shyvana, 0-0-0, but that's what's not important about Shyvana. You don't need kills. You don't need assists. You just need to be getting farm, levels, and objectives, and you're doing more than enough for your team. This is a very high-level Shyvana play, and trust me, King Danky makes it look much easier than it actually is. A little bit of a lull. Let's take a look at the gold leads. So top lane with an enormous 1,400 gold lead, but also look at the jungle. Shyvana now with a 1,400 gold lead herself. Mid lane 1,000 towards the Ahri, bot lane 1,200 towards the Tristana, and Braum, picking up those stacks, getting money for his Tristana, has a slight gold lead over the Rakan. Well, no objectives coming up for a while, so this is the time for Shyvana to go farm, maybe counter jungle a little bit, maybe engage in a slight team fight skirmish if you can get an advantage. Tristana having the static shivs, getting a great push on this bot wave, but got some damage as well. Look at that BF sword. So probably going to be going Infinity Edge as a second item on this BF sword. So going to get all kinds of crit, all kinds of damage, and she's already got Berserker Greaves. Oh, that's really Ahri and Tristana very strong. Same with Shyvana, and on the red team you have Jax. So really you have to be playing around the Jax. He wants to be getting in solo lanes. He wants to be getting a split push advantage, and it's just being very difficult as blue team is just going ahead and prioritizing these objectives and getting these early towers. These are all the tier 1 towers already taken down. 3 objectives their way. Baron up in 1:30, but there's no reason for blue team to go ahead and try for an early Baron. They don't need to. It's not to say they can't do it. They don't need to. They don't need to risk the damage that Baron steal could be for them. They are a convincing 3,000 gold lead up at 18 minutes 45 seconds. Cho'Gath hasn't died in a good 10 minutes. Getting a couple of stacks. Let's take a peek at his stacks here. 6 out of 6. Very, very nice. He went ahead. He's just been stacking off of minions. So he's done most of his stacks through minions. Now the future stacks are going to have to be through champions and epic monsters. So looking forward to see that. He's done a really good job stabilizing the lane, building for his team, building for the utility by building Righteous Glory. This is not something you generally see, but he's just saying, okay, you know what? I'm not going to be a massive force at this juncture, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and give some speed and utility for my team. Reaver's Wall used up. We have Ahri that's trapped up, getting knocked up by the Flag and Drag, but of course can just ultimate out of there. Wanting to get out a little bit of CC done by Braum, making red team have to split up. And a very good disengage. I mean, that's one thing this blue team does have with Braum, with Cho'Gath. Lots of disengage and lots of ways to get away from the Reaver's Wall with the Ahri ultimate, with the Shyvana ultimate, and with the Tristana jump. So fighting for vision around this Baron buff. Again, I don't foresee any sort of early Baron by either team. Neither has a Mountain Dragon. But here we go. Cataclysm unfortunately misses. Jax is silenced. Goes ahead and wants to get the counter strike, and he just does it. And he's going to be trying to get some damage onto this Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath getting the knock up just enough. Jarvan's not finished. No, he's got the red buff, and he wants to play. Jarvan may not have enough for Flag and Drag, and just decides to spear, and it's not quite enough. Dragon going to be coming up in 1:45. If you're blue team, you just want to buy right now. You just want to go back, get your half item advantage over the red team, and start moving towards Dragon to start to ward. You want to be warding over inside the river, as well as you want to be putting aggressive wards inside the red team's jungle. So let's see Shyvana. She's backing right now. She knows that she needs to get over to this dragon area. Either her or Braum has to start putting some vision so that they can have an advantage going into this dragon. So game has stabilized. It's 3,000 gold apart. It doesn't make as big of a difference. When it's 21 minutes, 3,000 gold doesn't mean as much as it did at 15 minutes. So really good job, red team, slowing this game down. You want to get your Jarvan down towards the dragon. He's going to back right now. Shyvana deciding not to go give vision for this dragon, but instead going and trying to continue that CS lead, continue that level lead. Look at that number, 161 at 21 minutes. Wow, that is just so impressive. Lining up all this farm. Going aggressive too, building the attack speed jungle item here, the Skirmisher's Blade, Blood Razor, and then into the Blade of the Ruin King. She is doing all kinds of damage and really could solo just about everyone except for probably Jax. Jax, it'll be close. Jax does need another item. A little bit strange that he's going for tank second item when you have Jarvan going full tank. So a little bit unusual. I would have thought that he would have gone for another damage item, seeing those that you already have a solid tank on your team. But okay, so we're getting ready to dance. We're getting ready to boogie. We have a Wind Dragon coming up. A little bit unfortunate for red team that it's another Wind Dragon, but that's okay. I'm at the blue team. Blue team does have the advantage here, but not too much. Just as suspected, there's a blue ward, but not this one. They know they're doing dragon. They're going to go ahead and let this happen. With Jax split pushing bottom, he's looking to try to back. The blue team knows he's down here. He's going to try to back in this bush. Oh, he's suiciding. Very unusual. Wow. Just not sure what this Jax is doing. So going ahead and putting this ward here to look for enemy champions. Also a ward that he could go back and jump to. Running clear across the map. And meanwhile, there's a team fight in mid. Judge, ultimate by Shyvana. She's doing all kinds of damage to Jarvan, who's tanking, is just barely able to get out. But that was an ignite on him, and that was not enough from the red team. That was a beautiful engage by blue team. King Dangme's thinking about going for this Baron and knocking out the Talia. That's all but guaranteed to get this early Baron. That's going to be a 24-minute Baron, and I hope they save it for this Cho'Gath. Come on, Cho. You want another stack. I know you do. You've already got your max on your minions and went ahead and, well, didn't quite get that one. But the stacks are only nominally important. Nom, nom, nom. Didn't quite have it up. They weren't willing to wait. They wanted to make sure to secure the objective before a red team can come back and try to steal. And now with this early Baron, 5,000 gold lead, they are in position to take over this game. But this is not over yet. This is still a Jax who is getting online. He has his second item, Frozen Mallet. I have not seen this. I'm not sure why he would build Frozen Mallet. Yes, it is some tank needed. Yes, it is some damage. It gives you slows to be able to get the kill on your opponent, but very unusual. We're going to have to see what he's doing. Going ahead and getting all this solo farm, getting these solo turrets, all the farm, all the objective money, going right for this Jax, and he has to know that he's probably in a little bit of trouble here. Going ahead and counter-striking. I thought we would have ran towards the Blast Cone, but wasting all kinds of time from the blue team. He already used his counter-strike. Just going to try to do as much damage as possible while red team pushes. That was not necessarily a bad death. He's got 225 CS, was able to take out the bot turret by himself, took out the top turret by himself. And whoa, look at what Shyvana's doing. You can't leave a Shyvana alone in bot lane, and you most certainly can't leave her with just a Talia pressure to stop him. That is excellent ability from Shyvana. Getting caught a little bit too deep here underneath the turret and dying, but that's a 2-for-1 trade. This is good for blue team. Do you have the ultimate? No, Cho'Gath does not have the ultimate. He still has about 30 seconds left on it. Goes ahead and flashes. Does not want to give away the early kills. You do not lose stacks anymore when you die as Cho'Gath. So that's why he's being played, and it's a little bit surprising that he was left up. He's being considered one of the probably top 5 strongest champions in the game right now. I believe I saw in high-level solo queue he had about a 65% win rate in high-level platinum and above, and a little bit less than that for top lane and jungle. So a little bit curious, but look at that. He has started off 0-2 and is able to get right back in this game. Counter-strike by Jax, but it's not enough to mitigate the damage from Cho'Gath, and this is going to be a lot of trouble. They're going to be putting pressure on Inhibitor here. These are Baroned up minions. Your strongest member of your team is down as red team. I don't know how you defend this. The blue team really should be putting a lot of pressure here. They have 3 of their ultimates available. One of them is not, but they don't have Shyvana. Shyvana's continuing to farm. And look at that farm score. 202. That's a 50 CS lead. And how many levels do we have? We have 2 levels and a 50 CS lead for the Shyvana over the Jarvan jungle. It's hard to farm as Jarvan when you're prioritizing tank for the team. You're not able to clear those minion camps as quick. You're not able to use that Hydra. You're not able to use that Black Cleaver. Nothing to be able to clear quickly like the Shyvana, who went Rage Blade. Oh, old school. I do remember playing a game with Mr. Gold and going Rage Blade second, and he was infuriated. I built a blasting wand because I had some extra gold and instead of the pickaxe, and it did not work out. But here we have, it's not RavExel, it's King Danky here with the Rage Blade. Only died once. Keeping up in CS with your laners, which is so hard as a jungler. You really have to be constantly CSing without any rest. But look at who's got a great KDA. That's Ahri at 3-0-6, and right below her, Tristana at 2-0-4. So really playing the carries very carefully, and and Braum 0-0-9. They're just not giving anything up. So even though this was a close game to start, the little advantages in jungle, in mid lane, and in bot lane looks like it's doing enough work to help take over this game. 8,300 gold for blue team, double a triple dragon off. We have another dragon coming up, but I don't even sure if they need it. They have all towers outside the base pushed. Here, Shyvana just trying to get out. Absolutely able to. A little bit of healing. Oh, that's not healing. That's redemption from Rakan. And not able to kill out the Shyvana. But just going to go ahead and back. Probably get the finish off an item. And going to try to engage on a team fight here. Dragon up in 10 seconds. But like I said, not that important. We have Jarvan moving down towards it. But really, they need to be making sure to ward their jungle and to get an effective, possibly outnumbered team fight. Shyvana is not down towards this dragon. The red team does not know that, but she moves pretty fast with her W. And there, Jarvan is killed. This is absolutely a free dragon if they want it. And Cho'Gath giving the chomp, getting the big stacks. Look how big that Cho'Gath is. And here we have the Ahri dancing and weaving. Jax trying to get out of there. The bomb's not going to be enough, but it doesn't really need to be. Here they go, and they start pushing. 3-0 for blue team, 13-3. Look at that gold lead around the 9,000 mark. And they're just going in to push this inhibitor. This very well could be game. Rakan is backing. Very curious why Jax doesn't back. Wow, they're actually going for it. This is just a 1 inhibitor. What a mistake by Jax. Jax is going for this dragon. Yes, it is Infernal, but blue team's going in for the win. They're prioritizing it, and nobody's calling back Jax. Jax still has not left yet. Blue team going for the win. They're trying to get it. I don't think they're going to do any damage. No, they're going for the Nexus. They just want to win this tournament. They want to win the cash, and we have the winners. We have blue team going ahead, getting the Nexus, getting the first place of the Ontario Esports League tournament here at Raiders at 30 minutes, 14-3. Very convincing, even though losing the early top game. Cho'Gath being able to combat. Vensu, you did very good job getting back into the game. A lot of players we discouraged about getting behind to a Jax that early, but he stuck in there. He didn't die at all. He's 4-2-3. No deaths for the last 22 minutes of the game. And you can't say enough about this team. Shyvana being able to do whatever she wants into the jungle, farming up a Storm, 236, tying the carry mid laner at 30 minutes is exactly how you want to be playing her, but it's not difficult, folks. And Tristana poking out towers, getting damage from the back line. Ari picking up the kills and assists. Look at that Ari scoreline, 13 kill participation out of 14. And what a final tournament. I'm going to go ahead and leave this on the victory screen so we can see this final scene. Wow, what a pleasure to be here. I am definitely honored to be part of this event. And thank you, Mr. Gold, for helping me cast the early games, just making me keep my voice just enough to be able to cast this finals. We had a number of games. Most of these games casted in this tournament. As a caster, it's very difficult to do. And wow, what champions. Vensu, Ligel's Too Easy, King Danky, Call Me Brisk, and Shadman Triple X. Gotta love that name. You're the Shadman, dude. You're the player of the tournament. I'm gonna give it to you. You did everything. I did my Scatman song already for you, dude. Well, I'm gonna do it one more time. He's the Shadman. He's the Shadman. And that's it for me, folks. I'm RavExel. You can find me here on YouTube, RavExel. Subscribe if you like what I'm doing. I'm constantly putting up new videos for League of Legends. Add me on League. I love casting custom 10 games. If you have a 5-man game as well, I love casting that. Shoot me a message. I'd be more than happy to cast that for you. I love supporting local talent. And a big thanks to to OeSL and Raiders for hosting this event. You guys have been awesome. This is RavExel one more time, casting out.